Coach, how we doing?
Good.
Couple of days off, team's back training. What you got for us?
Well, some guys didn't get the day off. There were reporters here on Saturday and Sunday. I don't know if you were here.
NFL draft. I don't know if you know about it, but
Come on, boss.
but seriously, Brian, what's the mood of the squad right now?
Mood of the squad is good. I mean, no, I think they're determined. I think they understand what's coming on Wednesday. I think they are hopeful. I think they're, going about it all in the right way. They're trying to be as professional as they can. I mean, they're doing what they do well.
Coach, I'll try this again. I didn't get it after the game. Though you made substitutions late, you still kept that ability for the squad to push forward. Can you just talk about that? You continually trying to be goal
Down
dangerous.
2-0. We had to push forward. We were down 2-1. Our team never quits. We're still pushing forward. Those guys want to win games. They don't want to draw games.
Coach, you already got to see 90 minutes of Dineno. He has been on fire. What are the key components to minimizing his effectiveness on the field?
Limited service. Be aware of his movement in the box, and try and keep the ball out of their hands.
When you looked at video, over the last couple of days, did anything pop out about that game individually, particularly?
Individually?
Or in general sense?
No, I thought it was just, like I said afterwards, I don't think we played up to our potential. I think there were many moments in transition that normally we were better at, and I thought we were a little rushed in our possession. My mind hasn't changed on that after watching the film.
Brian, you have a pulse on this community, I think, better than most. There's 61,000 fans there, which will be huge. This media here knows how big this match is. Everybody on this team knows how big this match is. Yet there are some people out there that may not understand why this is a big effing deal. Can you explain why this is?
I thought Marshawn was in charge of clarifying. Well, for those that may not know by now, and hopefully we'll have 69 plus in the building, that's my hope. It puts you into the World Club Championship. It's the region championship. I know it's not the league championship, and some people might not fully understand, but this is a really hard competition to win. It's a really hard competition to win for any team, whether you're from Liga MX or from Costa Rica, from the United States, from Canada, Toronto. They had a run at it. It's a really hard competition. So I think in soccer terms, purely in soccer terms, it's a big accomplishment. It would be a big accomplishment if we get there, if we push it over the line.
And if this pushes to 69,000, what does that say about this area and this club?
Well, it just shows that there are a ton of soccer people that have been around since 74. We all talk about 74, and then through the 80s, the 90s, 2000s, then MLS, and there's a lot of us, 60 somethings, that are soccer fans, have been soccer fans. A ton of people play soccer. You come here on the weekend, and you see all the kids running around and the families, and they're all taking photos with some of the kids. They want their son or daughter to take a photo with Nico or Raul. I mean, it's great. So soccer is a kind of a community sport, and I think we just are along for the ride sometimes.
Right, there are a lot of trophies up for grabs with this club. MLS Cup, US Open Cup, Supporter Shield, this one. How do you kind of rank them in terms of importance?
Thank you for saying Supporter Shield, not being one of the doubters. Thank you. Well, this one is the most important because it's Wednesday. And then once Wednesday's over, then we'll focus on Dallas, which is Supporter Shield. And then we'll focus on the Open Cup the following Wednesday. So we'll take those as is. In the grand scale of things, again, it's the United States. I mean, MLS Cup, is number one. Now, do I absolutely agree with that? I don't know. This is a pretty big freaking deal. So it's Supporter Shield, MLS Cup, this one, Open Cup. They're all interesting tournaments in their own right with different histories and all of that. So we like to just try and win them all.
To be the first MLS team to potentially win it, I mean, what would that just say about just the growth of the sport here domestically?
Well, again, we worry about that not so much on the national scale. For us, winning it would be a reward for the hard work that the players do, because they come first. They're the ones that put it in, day out, on the weekends. They don't get days off. They put it in, that's number one. For the whole entire organization, this organization has worked for many years to be a successful club. It's not me, it's not Adrian, it's not Garth. There's a lot of people that do a lot of work, trainers, fitness staff, everybody partakes in that. So for me, it would be a real accomplishment for that group of people. And then you layer on top of all the fans that have been around since '74 through the '80s and the heyday of the Kingdom, all of those memories. There's good memories in the USL and A-League days. A lot of history written there, a lot of guys staying local. And then certainly for the crowds that have been, following us since '09, and for the 69,000 people that are going to be there, I'd be happy for them.
Coach, how was your big match preparation of all the years going back to 2016, 2017?
It's pretty similar. We just tried to learn from all of the wins and losses over the years. Like, we took a lot of stuff from the Lyon series in the Leagues Cup last year that helped us against Lyon. Some of the messaging for this game with a full house. How did we react in 2019 when Toronto came here and we had a packed house? I mean, there's certain key things through experience. I'm not so sure I would say change, but it's certainly we're aware of what we did well and what we didn't do well, and we try and fine-tune that.
How much at all, if at all, do you talk about Pumas' penchant under Lilini especially to sort of perform the best when their backs are sort of against the wall? Like, they won this game yesterday, no one really gave them a lot of chance. They got into the playoffs the year before the same way. I can kind of go down the list and find all these examples.
It's something that I admire a lot about Andres. He's a very good coach. It's similar to our team. Our team doesn't quit. So I always lean towards that in my coaching. That's kind of been Pumas's deal though for quite some time. I'm not so sure that Lilini can take all of the credit. I did talk to Gonzo about that, about some of his experiences in that stadium and the fan support and all of that down there. So I think that's in their culture of their club as well.
But is it something that you have to speak to the players about it, or is it just sort of something that
We're worried about ourselves. We're not worried about them. We want to make sure that our team plays to their level on Wednesday. And if we do that, we have a good chance of winning. If we don't play up to our level, then it's pro sports. Then, things might not go our way.
Coach, going back to that messaging, in Mexico we talked about Calmate, and I saw you doing a lot of this from the sideline. For this one, knowing the extracurricular activity that happened at the end of the game, how much goes into making sure guys have a cool
We're
head for
moved
this
way
one?
past that. Nico's moved past that. Everybody's moved past that. Again, those were tempers that sometimes go throughout the game. Our guys are not that of a dirty team. We don't want to. It would be a good Bill Lambier and the Detroit Pistons years ago. We're not like that. We're not. Aren't the NBA playoffs going on right now?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe that's my best reference. We like to play soccer. Like, sometimes it happens. Okay, sometimes it happens. I might say that Ozzy in his day might have, but no. We want a soccer game to be played.
Brian, the importance of penalty kicks and just a guy making two of them in the game. Just talk about the precision and tenacity that takes.
Well, it's all up here. Nico's mentality is great. Steph's mentality is great. Raul's many penalties. Albert, JP, Freddie, AB, Sissoko. It's all up here, and we have a strong team in that regard.
Coach, can you share one of your reflections about, we talked about the success of the organization, the team, the 69 or the 60 plus fans that are going to come to the game, but you've been a very important part of that success. Can you share with us some of your reflection when you are home with your family?
When I'm home with my family, I usually think about my grandkids, and my wife and I watch bad TV. Unbelievable was a good series. I don't know if anybody watched that on Netflix. I'm a little tranquilo at home.
So, what about outside home? When you're reflecting about the success there?
Well,
You
then it
got
goes,
hand with
Felipe.
the
Then it comes back to this. What I always come back to is that the players and the fans, that relationship is this club. The players are the ones that do the hard work every day, and it's the fans that come to the stadium to cheer for their team. That relationship is what makes this club great. That's always my reflection. I'm very pleased with this group of players. They work hard, they're together. But I was very pleased with last year's team. They started off great. Unfortunately, we couldn't sustain that success. 2020, we made it to a final. Very proud of that group. We moved some players on. 2019 was a great final, a great team. 2016, 09. Some of my, earlier memories, reflections with Casey, with, Roger, and some of the USL guys mixed all together, Freddie Youngberg. I mean, that was a good team. Those are the reflections just on the joy that the players gave to the fans. That's what I would say.